so interesting. And like I said about her commanding presence, like, she steals the screen. Whenever she's talking or having even a conversation, you pay attention to her, what she's saying. And also she has, like, she has this very aggressive tone to her, but also kind of like I said with May, this emotional barrier to her. She's a very much combination of the past few characters on this list, but that came before her. And the reason why she's so high is because she's always been very interesting to me. Again, it comes down to her personality and the character design. I'm not much into the animal stuff. I know, yes, cat lady. I know. But technically she's an alien, so no, that doesn't help at all either. I'm not trying to defend that, but yes, I know, Catwoman, cat person thing. But it's mostly her personality and also just how she's portrayed in the movie itself. Like I said, she plays off everyone, especially Dr. Delbert, the most. I like how she plays off of him very much, because she's this very tenacious, aggressive, very powerful and driven woman, and he's just the local dork. That's putting it mildly. But I also like her, how she becomes like the second mother figure, in a sense, to Jim in the movie, and how she's still, even when, she's injured, she still has, even when she's injured and they're marooned on Treasure Planet, she still leads, she still commands, even though she's kind of going delirious, but still, she has this, what's the word I'm looking for? She has this command to her, and that's the thing. Like, she was a very well developed and well spread out character, and that's what I liked about her. But other than that, she's also another. Like I kind of said with Starling, is that she's a very fun character to write. Whenever I'm writing fan fiction with her, I usually have her as the center of attention because she has this very kick-ass attitude, and I also have been meaning to get back to writing a Doctor Who crossover with her and the Doctor, meeting up again, because I had it where she and the Doctor were friends at one point. So, because I always thought her and the Doctor would have so much chemistry to play off each other from. And not in the same sense as the Captain from Curse of the Black Spot. But still, now I'm just kind of going off on a rant. And I should move on to my number 2 and 1 picks, shouldn't I? So, for my number 2 and 1 picks, my number 2 and 1 picks are from the same anime. They're from the same show, and I couldn't decide, and I couldn't keep them at one. I really wanted them high on the list. That's the thing. They were both pretty damn high on the list, and I couldn't decide which one I wanted. Like, at one point, I wanted them on the at a draw, but then they each had their own quirks and personality traits that made me eventually just go, at the end, I just said, fuck it, I'll put them both on the list, but one's going to be higher than the other, and that one took, putting which one would be higher than the other also took a lot of thought into it, like a lot of thought process into it, so yeah, that's just a bit about what, and again, this list is all for fun and games. That's the driving point for what I'm trying to make here. This is just all for fun, and anyway, let's move on to, let me show you guys just who my number 2 pick and my number 1 pick are. So, starting off at number 2, here is Washu from Tenchi Muyo. Now, yes, but then some people are going to be like, wait a minute, she's 12 years old. No, she's 20,000 years old in the 12, and she makes herself look 12. But other than that, Washu is just an amazing character. She has all this power to her. She has this commanding presence. Again, it's kind of like what I said with Captain Amelia, is that whenever she's on screen, you pay attention to her. You pay attention to what she says. She plays off incredibly well with all the other characters from Tenchi Muyo, and she has the most commanding sense to her. She does have this mystery as well, and very calmness. You rarely see her get her angry, truth be told. She rarely gets upset. She rarely gets, well, she does get annoyed, but you never see her, like, freaking furious in a majority of the anime. And I wasn't a big fan of Tenchi in Tenchi in Tokyo, but I'm going on the Tenchi Muyo OVA and Tenchi Universe. That's where a lot of my love for the Tenchi Muyo series comes from. So, with Washu, she plays off like I said, she plays off everybody very well. She has this very much just a commanding presence. Like I said, a commanding presence. And like I said, I've always found women in power attractive. I don't know why. I will never know why. But that's kind of the thing. I've always been gravitated towards characters or female characters that have a lot of power to them. And Washu, when you talk about power with Washu, that's like saying the ocean is wet. We all know that she has a lot of power to her, mentally and possibly physically, because for those who don't know, she's technically a goddess. And she does have a lot of power, and she gave up a lot of her power to, you know, relearn everything. And that's kind of the thing, like, she kind of has this sense to her that she wants to do everything herself. She has this very much independence to her. And also, she's also very manipulative in a fun way, meaning she will take advantage of the other girls and characters in the show and toy with them just for the hell of it, and it's hilarious to watch. So, Washu is just a very fun character. She's interesting. She's also a very well-developed, character-driven and well-developed story, because from towards the end of the OVA, it becomes mostly her story. When you think about it, it mostly becomes Washu's story. Halfway, like in the OVA, in the first, like the OVA 20 episodes, it mostly becomes her story. And we see a lot of her backstory, and you see that she's not all fun and games and all happiness. There are just some dark points to her that even she wants to give up. And you do get the sense of she does feel guilty for, you know, abandoning Ryoko, in a sense. So, excuse me. She is, that's just a few reasons why I like that, why I find Washu interesting. So without further ado, let's move on to my number one. And my number one favorite female anime character is Ryoko! Also from Tenchi Muyo. Like I said, they're both from the same anime. I couldn't pick, or, you know, I couldn't leave one out and not exclude the other one. So inevitably, I chose these two. But the reason why, it was very close because I was kind of fickle between who should be number 2 and number 1. But the reason why I chose number 1 was, again, there's a lot of relatability to Ryoko. Whereas Washu, there's some, but not as much as Ryoko. In the sense that Ryoko, her personality traits are very much like a girl you would meet, and, you know, this very independent, very sullen, also doesn't comprehend emotions very well, and she doesn't understand them, and she has to lash out. And also, like I once said about Tenchi Muyo, her relationship with her and Tenchi, and why I like it so much, is it's kind of like a reverse Beauty and the Beast. It's kind of like a very gender-bent Beauty and the Beast kind of story, where you do feel very much bad for Ryoko, because she does care a lot about Tenchi, but she doesn't know, you know, comprehend how to, you know, express herself. That's the thing. She doesn't know how to express her emotions very well. Whether it be, you know, lashing out at Ayaka, or, you know, Washu, or someone else, or, you know, throwing herself at Tenchi in the most sexual way and freaking him out. But still, there was this, you know, she does feel very apologetic, even when Ryoko... There was one episode, I can't remember if this is the OVA or Universe, where she was just talking to herself and just, you know, realizing, I am such a terrible person. And she does feel very upset and guilt trip about it, but she kind of keeps it to herself because she's afraid of making herself look weak to everyone else. And that, you gotta admire that. You gotta admire that eventually she does break down those barriers to Tenchi alone, and later on the rest of the girls, but it's mostly to Tenchi that she really does care about. So, in that aspect as well. And she does play off the characters very well. The rivalry between her and Ayaka is hilarious. Not gonna lie, because at one point they're friends, and at another point they're enemies, and then it just becomes something else. You know, it's frenemy kind of relationship. And again, she does have a lot of power to her, physically and personality-wise. physically, I mean, at one point in the anime, in the Tenchi Muyo OVA series, there was a point where she could have, like, she was powerful enough to take on, I'd say even like Thor or some shit. She could have taken on the whole damn Marvel universe and maybe some characters from Dragon Ball Z. And Manos and I talked about that, and you're like, yeah, she was like, oh, at one point she was like god level at one point. But they really power her down in the later animes. So anyway, and there's a few other reasons, but I think I got the general ones out why I like Ryoko. And again, it's the hair. Damn it, hair. Damn it, multicolored hair. Damn it, different, oddly colored hair. But anyway, guys, that's more or less the video in question. And again, I have to re-stress, I know these characters are imaginary. I have no, like, real attraction to them. They just have personality traits, and the hair thing that I look for in women. So, and again, I've talked about how I'm not like a person who's like, oh, I wish these characters were real. I'm not like that. If they were, to quote Deanna, I would just go out and have a drink with them, and just have a conversation with them. Because I know if these characters were real, I have no chance in hell with them. Well, anywho, hope you guys enjoyed this. And once again, I really hope the train ticket is watching. I want to personally thank you if you are watching this video. For inspiring me to do this video as well. So again, train, if you're watching, thank you so much for inspiring me to do this video. And yeah, that about does it for me. I'll see you guys later.